Hello, Home Credit Warriors. This is Sumit Bhasin welcoming you to the Train the Trainer session on how to be an abled assessor. Going by the people-centric approach of home credit and promoting more and more people from within the system, we look forward to use Assessment Center as the basic activity to upskill the employees and get them to the next level, wherein each one of you has been the chosen one to play that significant role of being an assessor and get us the deserving people. In the following video, you will be entitled towards going through all the nitty-gritties of Assessment Center and how to become an abled assessor. So I wish you all the very best while you attempt this training, and I look forward to welcoming you as an assessor on the panel of assessors. Thank you very much.
Hello, Home Credit Warriors. Congratulations. You have been selected for being an assessor to our esteemed organization. It is an elite profile and you should be happy about it. So with these best wishes, let's understand what do we have in store for you today. Let's understand what this training is all about. What is Assessment Center? What is it good for? What is it not for? And what is it for me? Assessment Center, how is it organized? What is your role? What are the don'ts for you? What are competencies? And what is the meaning of individual competency? What is the assessment scale? How do I apply individual ratings? Why should I make word-by-word notes? And what are the activities? We will talk about interview, role play, case study, and team exercise. Assessment Center, also called as Development Center. It is an event where participants and assessors, which selected ones, competent and specially trained people, meet with strict schedule and plan to do common activities like solve tasks, do exercise, solve case studies, do interviews, etc., and execute specific roles. Participants solve the task to show their competency level and potential. Assessors observe the participants and rate their performance on defined criteria. Assessment Center, what is it good for? Assessment or Development Center provide a base of knowledge about the state of development, maturity, knowledge and skill level and potential of the participant. Based on this, group or individual development plans are designed to develop everyone further. Strategic decisions can be made about future career, especially promotion and talent development. What is it not for? Assessment Center is not for punishment, nor for the reasoning to fire any of the participants and utilized for their purposes. What is in it for me means what is in it for you. You as an assessor will get great experience of conducting assessments of others, which you can utilize in your professional as well as private life. Folks, I want to repeat one important point here. I want to guarantee that Assessment Center will not be taken for anybody's punishment, like firing them or judging them as low grade on something. That's a promise. Now, let us talk about Assessment Center mechanics. How is it organized? Assessment Center, as we said, is an event running strictly according to its agenda, which is revealed to all participants and assessors at the beginning of the event. The assessment will be done for 4 activities, which will be for 4 competencies which we have selected for a particular role. In each of these activities, 2 competencies are assessed. Each competency is assessed in 2 independent activities. After assessing all participants, a calibration session will be organized where all assessors team will agree on final rating. For assessors, the following materials are prepared and made available: instructions for exercises and case studies, assessment forms, notebooks, pens and markers, schedule and supporting material. Folks, please take full responsibility in this because people's life and careers are in your hand. What is the role of an assessor? The assessor is always doing this, making sure he creates such interaction with the participant so that he can objectively assess his performance based on defined criteria. Means you are responsible for creating that interaction, which is in time, you reach on time, you're well prepared, you are focused. No external tensions are required in your brain. You are supportive, friendly and motivating. You are fair, objective and unbiased. And you are discreet about this assessment. Now, what are do nots for you? No accountability means not able to assess, or being late, or leaving and coming, being unprepared, being unfocused, like eating, playing with mobile, solving some emails, replying some calls, or being destructive, trying to demoralize, or unfriendly, or extraordinary stress to the participant, or being unfair, helping the participant with their solutions, or putting your words in their mouth maybe, or making it too hard for them, revealing unauthorized information to anybody. These are your do nots. Now, let us talk about competencies. What are competencies? Competencies are qualities which are used by employees to work, fulfill their roles, and reach expected results. Now, in this case today, we have taken 4 selected competencies. 1. Problem solving. 2. Team building. 3. Communication skills. 4. Negotiation skills. Let us talk about these competencies in detail. Problem solving. Problem solving. Here are the examples of his traits. He undertakes a complex task by breaking it down into manageable parts in a systematic and detailed way. Thinks of several possible explanations or alternatives for a solution and anticipates potential obstacles and develops contingency plans to overcome these obstacles. Identifies the information needed to solve a problem effectively, presents problem analysis and recommended solution to others rather than just identifying or describing the problem itself. Acknowledges when one does not know something and takes steps to find out. These are the things which you need to look at in this competency for the SSE. Let's talk about competency number 2, team building. Team building can be identified with following characteristics. He seeks opportunities, proactively tries to build effective working relationship with other people, clarifies the current situation, probes for and provides information to clarify situation, develops others and own ideas, seeks and expands on original ideas, enhances other ideas, and contributes on ideas about the issues at hand. Subordinates personal goals, places higher priority on team or organizational goals than on own goals, facilitates agreement. He gains agreement from partners to support ideas or take partnership-oriented actions, uses sound rationale to explain values of action, uses effective interpersonal skills. He establishes good interpersonal relationship by helping people feeling valued, appreciated, and included in discussions, enhances the team's self-esteem, empathizes and involves, discloses and supports. We have also put in the slides for your detailing. Now, this was about team building. Let's talk about competency number 3, negotiation skills. He identifies the key issue about the negotiation, able to identify any areas for common ground, listens carefully and keeps calm, use assertive rather than an aggressive behavior, allow the other party to save face if all necessary via small concessions. He is able to make a good persuasive argument to persuade. He decides on a course of action and come to an agreement. Slide is there for your reference. This is all about negotiation skills. Now, let us talk about communication skills, which in my belief is part of all assessments and all profiles. Communication skills can be identified in following way. He organizes the communication, clarifies the purpose and importance, stresses major points, follows a logical sequence of communication, maintains audience attentions, keeps the audience engaged through use of techniques such as analogies, illustrations, humor, an appealing style, body language, and voice inflection. He adjusts to the audience, frames message in line with audience experience, background, and expectations, uses terms, examples, analogies that are meaningful to the audience. He ensures understanding, seeks input from audience, checks understanding, presents message in different ways, enhances understanding. He adheres to accepted conventions, uses syntax, pace, volume, diction, and mechanics appropriate to the media being used. He comprehends communication from others, correctly interprets the message, and responds appropriately. You can refer to the slides. This is about communication skills. As an assessor, these slides will help you to formalize the standard way of identifying these skills. Now, the most important and relevant part, how do we rate our assessees on these skills? Now, what is the assessment scale? Now, first understand, an assessment scale is a span of ratings which is agreed to be used in assessment. We use numbers from 1 to 5, where 5 is the lowest rating, 2, 3, 4 are proportional rating from lowest to highest, and 5 is the highest rating. How do I apply these individual ratings? Please pay very close attention to what we are going to tell you now. Rating number 1 means lowest, where he demonstrated skill at a very low level. Actually, he cannot use it. Rating 2, he demonstrated basic level of skill, he can use it, but with many mistakes. Rating 3, he demonstrates solid level of this skill, he can use it in most situations correctly, and sometimes he can make mistakes. Rating number 4, demonstrates skill at very high level, he can always use it correctly and consistently. Now, rating number 5. He demonstrated skill at very high level. He is totally consciously aware of it so that he can teach it to others also. I am sure you have understood the difference between these ratings. Please refer to the slides for detailing and standardization of these ratings. This is very important. Now, why should I make word by word notes? As an assessor, many times we might get into doubts in calibrating the results of assessment with other assessors. Concrete notes based on which we can discuss will help us. Now, in order to formulate concrete recommendations or the participants, we need to have detailing and also concrete notes. Folks, it is very important to remain unbiased in assessment center. That's why each of your participants will not be called by their names or employee codes. They will have participant codes like P1, P2, P3, P4. Now, on all these 4 competencies, based on these 5 ratings, where will you score them? For that, you have assessment form. It is a form which assessor is supposed to fill in based on observations of participants' performance. Basis the rating which we have explained you previously. You have already gone through the competencies and standard behaviors or characteristics displayed by participants for those competencies. So this form, please have a look and please be prepared with this. Now, as we have told you that these 4 competencies, each of the activity will help us to evaluate these SSCs minimum 2 times on each competency. For example, interview. Interview will help us in identifying the right rating about problem solving and team building. Role play can help us about problem solving, negotiation skills, or maybe communication also. Case study can help us in various identification of the competencies, but problem solving and communication is our prime objective. And team exercise, or we can say group discussions, will help us to identify any of these activities. You will be briefed about each activity to identify in each of these activities. So you will be 100% sure on what to do. For example, let's understand to standardize what should be and what should not be our way of conducting following activities. Let's take an example of an interview. Now, interviews can be really serious and interesting if we standardize it and we go to specifics. We have laid down for you some standard questions which you should ask in your interview question with the participant. For example, what are the 3 most positive characteristics of yours? Why do you think? Why should we promote you? And we will also lay down some specific characteristics which they should exhibit so that you can identify. Folks, you have seen the activity 1 about interview. So to standardize, let's talk about something on activity 2. Let's suppose this activity is all about role play. Now you will be given a particular role, means SSC will be given a particular role to play. For example, you are an ADSM of sales process, you have a team member Akshay, and due to higher sales volume, you have to ask Akshay to work on a holiday. You can go through this role play in detail yourself, and the SSC will behave like this ADSM, and you will be observing and rating them on this role play. Activity number 3, case study. Case study is more complex than role play, where the SSC is supposed to go through this case study first in detail, understand this, and propose a solution, maybe with an alternative solution. You will face the SSC and you can counter question them to come to a conclusion. What should you rate them how they have understood this basis the rating scale which we have explained you. Activity number 4. This is more complex. This is about a team case. Now, as a team, we might put them in 8 people in each team, or 10 or 7, depending on the strength, and they will be presented with a case. The case will be explained to them in written. If they have a question, they can ask. They will understand it, and as a team, they need to do a group discussion about this case and come to a solution. As we have tried to explain to you, you as an assessor need to judge them basis the group discussion and the rating scale. Dear colleagues, by now you would have understood that assessment center is a very serious activity, because you as an assessor are responsible for people's lives, their careers, which influence their families. Please pay close attention and be serious about assessment center. To be more serious on this, we have prepared an oath for us as an assessors. Let's take it together. I am a home credit warrior. I stream energy to truth. I promise and I fulfill. I am a ACDC assessor. I will be fair and objective. I will enable best possible performance. I will pay full attention and listen. I will rate fair, objective and unbiased way. I will keep all findings discreet, because I am responsible for the lives and careers of my fellows. Now, folks, please, you have all the materials with you. Go through this material, take printouts, go through them again and again. If you have questions, we are not far away, but be well prepared. In first of your assessment center, we will be there co-facilitating with you, and then you are on your own. So, welcome to this elite force of assessors. Congratulations and Chak De.
Dear assessors, today I am very happy to speak to you. In Home Credit, we are about to build a talent pool. This talent pool will take on bigger responsibilities in the future, and the selection of this talent pool will be called an assessment center. I am happy to share with you that you will be a part of selection in this process. That is, you will help us in selecting who all will go through this assessment center. Now, you would have understood it's going to be very important, because those people who get selected will take on bigger responsibilities. Therefore, their future performance, their selection, and how they build their teams in the future will all depend on you. This underlines the importance of your role in the assessment center. Besides your role in this specific assessment center, this assessment center will also help you in assessing people, in assessing situations, and in assessing performances in your day-to-day and personal lives. As usual, I will say all the best, and I am always there for you.